What's up, YouTube? This is Getting the Van here, and I'm here to do the video response to Vexicus 4666 his Banlist prediction. So I thought I'd give my take on it. And so I'll just start out with what I think needs to get banned. Nothing. I don't think anything in the format or anything to date needs to get banned. Now cards need to get limited, but nothing needs to get banned. I don't see, like, many people are saying, oh, Judgment needs to go, and you know, Big Eye, Dragosac, they all need to go, and I'm like, no. Though limited, I do agree. I think that the following cards need to be limited, and I'll reiterate on why. Super Rejuvenation, Atlantean Dragoons, Spellbook of Judgment, or Secrets, or both. Big Eye and Dragosac, or Dragosac, one of the two. And Royal Oppression. And I'll start with Super Rejuvenation. It allows the big plays. It allows dragons to overextend, and it allows them to just commit all this field presence and just like get rid of their entire hand because they know that they're gonna get it all back at the end phase. And that's why I think it needs to get hit to 1. It doesn't need to go away, it just needs to get hit. Dragoons. Many people are like, oh, Prophecy Dragons, Prophecy Dragons, Prophecy Dragons. Well, before Prophecies and Dragons came out, Mermails were wrecking, and they were just straight up destroying everything. And I don't want it to go back to that way where Konami forgets about Mermails, and they'll just put, the fact of, oh, we lowered Prophecy and Dragons, but you still have this full force Mermails that's gonna rape everything. Judgment and Secrets. Judgment's just too broken to be at 3. It's too big. It shouldn't be at 3. I don't think it should be banned, but I think 1 would be sufficient, and I think Secrets at 1 would be very good for them. I think that the deck would still be functioning. I think we'd see a lot more High Priestess builds, which I think would benefit a variety of builds. Again, I don't think neither Dragons or Prophecy need to get destroyed like Windups did, but I do think that they need to get hit. The same comes with Big Eye and Dragosac. One of the two needs to get hit. Doesn't really matter which one, to be honest with you. I mean, I think Dragosac's worse needs to get hit more, in my opinion, because I think many people are like Dark Hole. Many people aren't playing that, and I still do because it's a Dark Hole. You top deck it against either dragon, against any rogue deck, and you basically win. But I think Dragosac's more of a problem than Big Eye is, but either or needs to get hit. And Royal Oppression. I'll spend some time on this card. I think Royal Oppression was taken out of the game at the wrong time. I think Konami wanted it to be like, they thought Oppression was too bad of a card, but in my mind it's probably the most balanced card in the game. It's not like, oh, I have an Oppression and I can negate your summons but you can't negate mine. It doesn't work like that, and I think that's why I think Oppression is the most balanced card in the game, and because it allows people to think about their moves before, oh, just ditch to get Blaster and Tidal and such. mindless plays. It makes you think about your plays, and you're like, oh, do I really want to do this play? Because they're just going to negate it, and it's like, and it makes more on edge, as in more closer duels, because each player is losing 800 at a time, and you get down to crunch time, and you're sitting there at like 2,000 life, and you're just like, should I negate this or not? Because of they might normal summon a T-King, and I might lose or something, you know. And I think it needs to come back because of the fact that both players can use it. If it was like a card that was super broken, like Imperial Order or something like that, that's different. But Oppression could be used by both players. I think it's very good. I think Konami really wanted a fast format. I don't know why. I mean it's Konami. They want to make money, but I still think that a slow format, especially with Fire Fist coming out, they're very like. If Konami doesn't touch Dragons or Prophecy, I don't understand why anyone would buy Judgment of the Light, because it's not going to matter. I mean, Japan had, Japan had Chicken, and it didn't matter against Dragon or Prophecy. But I think Oppression is great and needs to come back. Semi-limited, Tenki. I mean, that's just in preparation for Fire Fist. So, I think Tenki at 2 is fine. I don't think it needs to get to 1. I wouldn't, if it's at 3, it's not that big of a deal, but, hey, Tengu was at 3 and now it's at 2, so, 2 cards that are limited, but I think could come back to 2 are Whirlwind and Bestiari. These cards these decks don't see play. I still think Glad Beast is a very good deck, especially for a regional. Very, very under the radar, very good. Whirlwind, I thought Black Wings were very good when they came out. So, they were, after I didn't see them when they came out, but after looking at them and I thought they were a very solid deck. So, Unlimited, I see T-King and Solemn Warning. The reason why I put this is because I think a slower format would do wonders to the game. I think a slower format is what the game needs. I don't think many players are on the edge already about all this Dragon and Prophecy and this fast-paced. I know that there's always going to be a deck that's above everyone, but you saw it at Nats. 31 out of the 32 decks were Prophecy and Dragons. That shouldn't happen. It's always been like that, but there's been a multitude of road decks that have done well at Nats, and it's just a shame to see that you have to spend so much money to be good at this game, to even stand a chance at this game. And I think that's where a lot of players look at it should I keep playing this game if I can't protect myself? And that's why I think Warning and T-King should go up to 3. I think it's better when I have protection, even if it is at 2,000 life, or I can't search through my. It's still better than nothing, and I think it needs to happen. Just a general opinion about formats. I think formats are much better with a variety of decks. I think that when you see creativity, I came in to the game competitively at D-Rev. So plants were big, they were about to get even bigger, and Sams weren't out yet, so, but yeah, there were Glide Beasts were roaming, Blackwings were out there, but the main focus was plants. Now, whatever plants you played, junk, junk doppel or whatever it was, there wasn't very much creativity because of the deck. I mean, there's a lot of creativity, but within the builds, but there weren't creativity. Like, everyone was running plants, especially when Tengu came out. Everyone was running plants, and just like how do I put this? Whenever creativity is at its least, and you can take a deck and save for stamps, you can take a relatively cheap deck and do well with it, people get interested in the game more. But when you look at it and you're like, oh, I have this Dark World deck, I think it's very, very good, but I get smashed by Dragons and Prophecy every game, and in order to keep up with it, I have to buy Dragons or Prophecies myself. That's when you think, you're like, do I really want to play this game? And I know that, there's always decks that are better than others, but it seems like in past times that there's always been ways to stop them, and slowly but surely Konami's limiting the ways that you can really good stop stuff. So yep. And I personally love, and it's just a little side note, I know I'm taking off from the Banlist discussion, but it affects, I personally want to see most of the stuff that I said. This is what I think will happen, but I'd personally like to see all the dragons get hit to 2, especially Tidal. I think Tidal should get hit to 2. It would hurt Mermails too. Because Mermails have to have Tidal in their deck in order to be any sufficient. And I think that I truly do think that September or October is the best dueling months of the year. I think this is the time where everyone gears up, finds a deck, and goes. And those first 2 months at regionals are just so great because you have so much variety, and I like to duel different decks than just Prophecy and Dragons, or in past years windups, or in past formats and sectors windups. Rabbits. I know I'm saying that I run Rabbits, so but I'd like to see decks decks with potential, like Constellars, something like that. I'd like to see 3-axis Fire Fist do well, actually. Like, I don't want it to be like at the level, but I want to see it. I want to see how this deck can really run. But yeah, that's pretty much my entire BAM list in the discussion. But I really do think September, October is the best dueling months of the year, because when you go to regionals, no one's there just to trade. Everyone, even if you're just there to trade, then you don't compete. But if you're competing to win, and everyone out there is not gonna scoop. No one's gonna scoop because no one has their invite. Unless they have gone to multiple regionals. But we'll just leave that out. But September, definitely, right after Banlist decks come out, good stuff. All right, let's get in the van, and see you later.